Hello there. Haven't done one of these in a while. Live from the parking garage at Rosemary Square. Went to a Fathoms event at a movie called The Deer King. This was originally supposed to be released around September 8th in Japan last year. And there's a good reason why they waited for almost a year to release it here in North America. You see, this thing has to deal with a disease. So yeah, you could see why they were holding this one off for quite some time. Because after all, I mean, we had to deal with COVID-Sean. I mean, my date of COVID-Sean was not very, did not go very well, I should say. Okay, this is a story about a guy named Van. He's from an ancient order of knights who basically ride, well, deer. Well, I guess during battle, he came close to killing the Emperor's son. The problem is the Emperor's son was a very young child at the time, and he held up away from it. Eventually, his entire brigade gets wiped out. Evil Empire, there's actually two evil kingdoms here. You have the Evil Empire and its vassal kingdom. The Evil Empire ends up basically threw him as a slave in a salt mine. So yeah, he ends up literally mining salt. While there, the mine gets attacked by a bunch of wolves, who ironically also have a disease. All these wolves are diseased. There's like a mystical mist that comes and basically blinds you. And of course the wolves attack you. The wolves are about the size of dire wolves. These aren't your normal wolves you're basically looking at. Muzzle could probably take out an entire human head. These are not something you can easily fight off. Van ends up in jail because he actually takes up somebody else's salt mining. An old man who, for all intents and purposes, collapsed. And he gets thrown in jail. The wolves attack the mine. So it basically wipes out the entire mine. Everyone is basically dead. Except for Van. Young orphan child survives the bite as well. Anyway, Van decides to adopt the orphan child. Van actually did have a family before the whole war. They also died of a rare disease, an epidemic. He still has a lot of parenting instinct in him. He ends up taking him over to a village. Now, I think I should tell you, the vassal kingdom wants to fight off the Evil Empire. And they've decided they're going to weaponize this disease against the Evil Empire in a complete revolt. Everybody's in on it. The thing is about the vassal kingdom is that they don't want to openly show that they're rebelling, obviously. Or they're actually using, weapons of mass destruction against them. These dire wolves who are going to give them disease. Now, it should be noted that whenever they're scheming, they're always playing chess. I guess you have to be as upfront about it as possible. And obviously, when they hear that Van survived one of the bites, he basically becomes target enemy number one. Why? Because there's actually a doctor called Haseli is trying to work on finding a cure for this disease. They're trying to make sure that Haseli and Van do not meet at any point in this film. They actually hire a tracker to basically an assassin to basically take him out. Assassin ends up having to escort the doctor, Haseli, to one of the village that Van's actually hiding out with. Van's actually helping out this village. I think I should tell you, there's an old man. The real villain of the thing you later find out is this old man who basically controls the wolves, as well as the disease itself. We don't really know anything about him. We don't even know if he's a real person. We do know his spirit is what's controlling this whole thing. He ends up kidnapping the adopted daughter. And now Van ends up trying to go out and trying to find this person. Now, the track will try killing Van. And Haseli stops her. And the three actually go out and try to find the adopted daughter. It's pretty simple. Haseli will make sure that the tracker's life is spared. Because let's face it, you decide to go after the Emperor's doctor. Yeah, you're probably going to be in deep trouble. Doctor decides also to give clemency to Van. Because he's basically the answer to this terrible disease. And of course, the three go out on a epic adventure. The whole story basically revolves around this man trying to get back to his daughter. It involves a possible mutiny, but that's basically it, the plot. You would think that maybe it's overthrowing a kingdom killing off a king. No, that's not the plot. They keep it very simple in this film. The animation, I mean, let's try to think, it's still pretty well done. I like the fact they used a lot of 2D animation in this one, because once again, it looks beautiful. They kept everything very simple. The colors very simple. It definitely was worth a watch. The director did an excellent job. Once again, I really do recommend you to watch this film when it finally comes out. This is a Fathom event, so this is the last night it'll be shown here in West Palm Beach. Now, I know my Thor review just came out today, so yeah, it pretty much tells you the date I pretty much watched this one. It is weird too because the Brightline station is only about a block from here. Probably should have put the $5 in, gone into the station. Hey, where are you going? No, nowhere. I'm just going to do a review upstairs. Imagine telling that security. Film score to The Deer King. It's definitely an A-. I know some people get really ravaged the hell out of this film, but I mean, they really tried their best to keep this very simplified. Was it the director Ando? He really kind of got scared when COVID came out, because obviously, you know, it takes years for these films to come out. So obviously when COVID came, it really messed everything about production up, even if this film was even going to be released. So when it comes out in streaming or DVD, please look up this film. As for me, I'm leaving. Have a good night. Bye.